On this episode 56, we recap the Moab trip with Pritchett and a bunch of breakdowns and some other stuff. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mike and Max Offroad Podcast, the real episode 56, brought to you by Keep It Simple Offroad. I'm your host, Mike Austin.
And I'm Max Kraus, and we're taking you on a huge recap of Mike's Moab trip, interview style.
Right. Boom.
Hopefully it goes good.
Right. Beans, I'm not interviewing myself. We'll see. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. So hang on, what your intro just now? What do you mean the real 56?
Oh,
is
we
there
did
a fake
one.
56?
No, we did. I did one around the camp, but I was super chill, dude.
Oh, is that 56 point negative?
Yeah,
5?
It'll be bonus 56. Bonus 56. I haven't listened to it yet, but I remember recording it, and I was like half asleep in it. And we were all just finally chilled out by around the camp light.
Oh,
so they had no fires allowed, so we were near the
camp lighting.
The camp light. The
Did you really have a light?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I don't know. I mean, very cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to be safe. There's a lot of fires currently in the world.
Well, it's illegal, and we would never break the law.
No.
Like mud flaps and all kinds of other stuff.
You don't have mud flaps. No.
I do. I put my mud flaps on.
Oh, you have those ones with the bolts.
Yeah.
They just go whoop, whoop.
On the way out there anyway, but on the way back I didn't put them on. I said the hell with it.
You're leaving the state. That's
right.
for coming into the state.
Adios.
Officer, that's for coming into a state. Dude. I'm leaving your state.
Right. So before we get into this, the Moab trip, do you want to talk about your updates? What's this Johnny Joint stuff and all this? What have you been doing while we were at home?
No,
home.
Not really.
Okay, no worries. All right.
No, I can do a quick little breakdown there. That was just to be funny. You know?
If we were rich like the other boys, we could have the Rodeo Pro and all those sound effects would be put in right now.
That'd be cool. It seemed real. So I have a bent lower control arm bracket because it hangs down below the Jeep, and so it lands on the rocks quite often, you know. And I was going to rebuild all my joints with the rubber inserts, grease them up, swap out the rubber inserts with new ones, grease them all up.
Yep.
And in the process of hammering one out, I bent it so bad that I can't unthread the ring that you have to unthread in order to take it apart. So it's ruined.
Yeah,
and I got 2 very fancy, nice new Curry Johnny joints that are going to replace them.
I'll be curious to see how much if those last longer or worse.
Well, I really don't want to talk badly about those joints, but I did have issues with them. Like I blew them apart. Yeah. They would basically like fatigue, and the rubber would fade, and they'd bounce around internally. I mean, within like 2 to 3 trips, sometimes they'd just be like.
Yeah, and again, we don't know if it's geometry or if it's binding or if it's this joint. You know what I mean?
Now, I will say the Johnny joint is about twice as big as the joints I have.
The casing is.
The casing, yeah. Even though it's the same size, it's 1 1/4 inch joint.
I'll be curious to see how much bigger those. I heard that the Delrin in there is way bigger than those little rubber.
It's huge.
Ones.
Yeah, because I have Terraflex ones that looks just like this on the rear. Yeah. And I mean, the rubber, it's those ones that interlock too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen those when I had it apart. But I mean, you could see it. Like, look at this metal ring, and like the joints, it's all, I mean, you can't see it on the podcast, but
what's crazy
it's much larger.
When I tried to take my link out, the bolt had bent. So I had to cut the bolt off with
Your 9/16 or 5/8?
No, which one's bigger? 5/8?
5/8 is bigger.
Yeah.
No way, you bent a 5/8 bolt.
Yep.
Do you think you hit, like, do your threads hang out? Do you think you could have caught that?
No, I don't know, because it was in the upper one, but that just shows you what kind of stress is on these things.
I have yet to bend a bolt that I noticed, at least.
That some bitch would not come out, man, for nothing.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So now, I was highly motivated by the Wheel Every Weekend Instagram page, and they're like completely fixing everything on this Toyota truck.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I need to fix everything I don't like on the Liberty.
Me too.
So I got some brackets for the axle. I got some brackets for the frame side. I got 2 Heims on the way. I got these 2 Johnny joints here. And I got new upper control arm Heims because they had a little bit of play.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to fix everything one time, fix some of the geometry stuff I don't like. And
when do you think you'll be done? Before wheeling
well,
season?
hopefully everything will be here this week.
Nice.
And I already started cutting it off.
Good.
So then I'll just need to weld it back together, spray paint it, make it classy.
Yeah.
And go from there.
I am, because it's good, because I don't know if my Jeep will be done before next year.
Whoa.
I'm good. If my Jeep is not,
Why?
if that front axle is not out of my Jeep by the time we do the next podcast, then, well, I'll eat crow. Eat a crow. No. I'm going to tear it all apart.
I don't know that saying.
No.
You'll eat a crow, huh?
I was going to say I'll eat shit, but I wasn't going to say eat shit.
I got you.
That doesn't sound right either.
Okay. I understand the reference now.
The point of it is yeah, I after this trip, the Jeep works okay, but it could be so much better, dude.
Yeah.
And there was times between the trails, I'm not getting to any of that yet, but between the trails where it was miles and miles and miles of just shitty, bumpy dirt.
Yeah.
And everybody trying to bomb back. You know what I mean?
And a lot of them can with the coilovers or for some reason the JKs just ride really smooth too.
Yeah.
Even
really
my junky suspension on my old JK rode pretty damn nice.
Yeah, and I'm in the back just getting slaughtered,
Yeah.
So
you got no kidneys.
Dude. Yeah. So anyways, and I know it because I can feel the back feels good.
Yeah.
It's the front that just slams on everything. I need more up travel. I love how low my Jeep sets, but I really need, Chris Beyer was saying, about 2 inches higher. Mm-hmm. And then I'll be able to take those whoops a lot faster, and then all that good stuff. But I think it will help it perform it. And I had issues with the front axle again, and this time it's going to be an expensive fix.
Oof.
So I'm just not going to fix it. I'm going to part that axle out and then
because now did it mess up the axle to where you can't sell it as a whole?
No.
Oh.
No, it messed up a knuckle, but the knuckle needs to be drilled for high steer. So you're in it at least $400.
Damn, it's that much money.
Something.
Huh?
I
it's milled and drilled. It's not just drilled out and tapped.
I didn't look at what the reeds cost, but I think they're like $250 a piece, and that would be that would be okay, but not for not for me.
Not for selling it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll piece it out. The joints.
I wonder what else we could do with that axle.
I don't know. I might even just
a nice Dana 44 that.
I might even just practice on the housing, cutting it up and shortening it before I do the 60.
Yeah.
So. Anyway,
if you did that, flipped it to driver's side, you could sell it to a JK person.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're going to practice cutting it up anyways. Hey, this is my practice axle. I hope it lasts.
No, I would
Interesting though.
Yeah.
So before we move on, I'm super curious. Why do you think you might miss the whole winter wheeling season?
That whole front end's a lot of work. I got a whole laundry list of stuff to do. I might even switch the coilovers to 2.5s.
Yeah,
for the extra weight.
I think
the problem is buying them.
Yeah,
I don't have that. I already have these, so now I got to put these up. But I want to raise the drivetrain. I can't get rid of the vibration. Damn. I ran that thing up to 82 miles an hour and still vibrating the whole way. So,
but you still don't know exactly what the vibration is.
No, on the way home, I just was like, F it. And I was just wait for it to blow up. And if it blew up, I was cool with it because then it would show me what the hell's wrong.
Yeah.
But trying to figure out where the hell it's coming from is so frustrating, dude.
Jimmy he's chasing a vibration whole issue on Snail Trail right now too.
I saw that.
Do you think you're chasing the same rear end vibration?
I have no idea, dude.
That's just a guess because we don't know what his is or yours.
Well, I can get flying down the road, vibrating like crazy, and I can push in the clutch and it's smooth as ice. But so all that does is separate the tranny from the engine. Yeah. But if I have the clutch in and I rev it up, I still can't get it to vibrate. It's only under power. So it could be, Bear was saying he thought it might be the flywheel on the engine, but I had flywheel
you had that
balance to the clutch and all that stuff and then put back on. Seriously, and it was done by a professional race shop. I don't think that they would mess that up. It's not saying it can't, but I don't want to chase these weird other shit. I know that the only thing I could think of is I have both drive shafts made at the exact same time, and maybe they just came to me on balance. I looked at them. No, check this out. I looked at them, and both of them, they're supposed to be, what is it called, synced? The two ears have to be together. You know what I'm talking about?
Because you don't have a double cardan?
No, it has to be in time. Like all drive shafts have to be in time.
Yeah. The yokes. They have to face the exact, you can't offset the yokes.
Right. So the spline on both drive shafts, the yokes are off just a hair. And you can't take the spline off and put it on. It was welded together crooked. And then a washer was on them, and both of them are identical.
Weird.
So I don't know if that machine is set up. I don't know how it's built.
I bet you they still balanced it though. And to rebuttal this, I never realized this. Do you remember on Mud Springs when my rear end broke apart again?
Yeah.
The slip fell out of the yoke, and I thought I lined them up, but I'm off at least one notch.
Oh, okay.
I just noticed that this week when I was working underneath it. So and I drive fine.
Yeah, you were doing 80 the other night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
bombing.
right. I don't know. So the other one is everybody said move it to the center. I did that. Still didn't work. My front motor mounts are already loose again, and the engine sank forward about a half an inch.
Wow.
So
down or forward?
Down. It goes down, but makes
down,
it go forward.
Yeah, I got you.
So, I forgot that too.
Add that to the list.
Yeah. Well, there was a transmission mount that was loose as well.
Damn.
So anyway, dude, highway miles are hard on a car.
Yeah.
So
I want wheeling every day, or 8 hours a day, it's hard on the Jeeps.
And trying to keep up with the high dollar Jeeps. So I'm going to lift the engine up more now that I know that whole thing was to be able to lay the window down.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but I don't do it enough to deal with it.
You don't ever do it, and it sucks when you do it.
Yeah. So it was fun when you were wheeling, but yeah, you're catching the dirt in the face and all kinds of shit. So I'm going to raise the engine up and try to get that more of an angle. Try to fix the drive shaft angle.
Okay.
And see if I can do it. So I'll raise it on this when I go to cut off the front and do everything. I'll raise it at least an inch, and then which is
a lot
from up there. Yeah, it should be a huge.
Are you gonna raise the motor mounts, or are you gonna raise?
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that with the motor in it?
I'll just unbolt it, throw it up, and rebuild it.
I'd have to see it.
Yeah, do it the same way I did it.
Mine wouldn't work like that. Mine are a lot different.
Yeah, way different. Mine's all homemade anyway, so it's easy. I mean, it's time consuming, but very easy.
Your Jeep sounds sad right now.
It's not. It is and it's not.
It did great, but it's not right.
It's beyond its capability again to where I can perform. It can, like I was watching the videos of going up Pritchett or Chewy Hill, and the damn thing's like a basketball, dude. Blink, blink, blink on the front end.
But that's your suspension, or
I know, but that's all
or
part
wheelbase. Like that obstacle might just be really friendly.
Dawn kicked ass on
it. Damn it!
You know what I mean? Like
I was trying to really hype
he actually winched less than I did, believe it or not.
Yeah, but he is a really good patient driver.
I'm gonna say I stacked him a highway too.
Oh.
No, I don't want to take it from him. He did awesome, and everybody was scared to death. I mean that little Jeep really kicked ass on it. Shockingly.
Yeah.
But we'll get to there. I don't get out of whack here. So but my plan is, we're going into winter. I already know that I'm not going to do it in the summer because it's too freaking hot.
Yeah.
So I just have to do it. I just, instead of dealing with all this crap. So now I need tires and I need some other crap. So I'm just like backing it up, going to put it in the garage and take it apart. That's it. You have to do it. So. And then that's it.
So here's what I want to know.
Sure.
Would you prefer to go to the actual 40 or stay with the 39?
I would rather stay with that tire, but I'd rather have a 40.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm
you can get a street tire. You can get like Dennis runs them. Oh, you have one of them, but dude, I think they're like almost $500 a piece.
I'm broke as hell, so I just I like what I have. I'll stay with those until I can get real 40s.
Yeah. So long term. So it'd be nicer if we can get you more 39s in the meantime.
Yep, for now.
Okay.
I'm cool with it.
Gotcha.
And I have that one that Jesse gave me that we're gonna swap. So that's awesome.
Cool.
All right, right on.
So main. Now, we got to stop doing that. It's lame.
I like it.
Oh, okay. It's not lame then.
Main topic.
It's cool.
Well, let's everyone know we're actually on the main topic.
So what Mike and I talked about doing for this podcast is, I didn't go on the week-long Moab trip.
Why?
Mike and most of our buddies did. So what we're going to do is just basically let me answer all the questions, or let me ask all the questions I want to know about the trip. And then, ahead of time, we talked about the order a little bit,
right?
So we don't jump around as bad.
Yeah, and just know we're going to jump around.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, but we have a pretty solid plan out there for the people who don't believe we plan.
Should we start with something funny?
Is it in the beginning of the trip?
In the middle of the week.
Then yes.
So Richard Russell from Rig Times.
I know that. Okay.
Richard Russell from Rig Times hit 1,000 subscribers on Rig Times.
Yep.
And he put up this picture. We finally got back into town.
He's celebrating.
We got into town. We sat down for dinner. I forget. I think we're at Moab Distillery, which is fantastic. Oh my God. Yeah. So we'll do this part right here, right now. So first off, as soon as we get into town, everybody jumps up and tries to post a few pictures while we have cell service, because at camp we got nothing.
Yeah. Your Instagram whores.
Yeah, exactly.
No big deal.
We're all out there clouding, cloud chasing.
Clouding.
Looking for the clout. Yeah, that's what it's called nowadays.
Oh.
Clout.
Clouding?
Okay. Yeah. So we go to post up, and I see that, hey, Richard's got 1,000 subscribers. And I go, how the hell did he get this little graffiti thing? It has like a graffiti GIF on it.
The GIF, yeah.
I was like, dude, that was badass. How the hell we do that? and I don't want to say any names, but Rod, RC3 Jeep, says, dude, we should all unfollow him. And everybody just like that jumped all over it. Hell yeah, dude, that'd be funnier and shit. And all of us unfollowed him. He got down to 994, I think.
Oh, no.
Because there were 6 of us at the table. 6 or 7 of us at the table. And then Rod was like, oh, my God, I can't believe and he felt so bad, dude. And we wouldn't let anybody resubscribe. And then he gets in the chat, and he's all, thanks, guys. Now you guys make me look fucking stupid. And we're like, and then Chris immediately starts going, one of the Orange Chris, he's like, hey, man, I tried to tell these guys not to do it. And then I log in. I'm like, fuck that guy, dude. Don't tell him. It wasn't him. He totally is the guy that said to do this. And
I saw that part, but I think I saw it the day after.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, that's funny.
Dude, I thought it was hysterical. You did that to me once. Remember when
But I think it was just me.
Yeah.
And I think you had just hit 1,000, and then we bumped it down 1 or 2 with whatever accounts I can get into.
It was funny. And he was supposed to do a giveaway. Yeah. And then we're like, who got the giveaway now? Like he's going to do another one, You can see who deserved it. So.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. I hope he takes that in stride. You know what I mean? Because that shit was funny.
Yeah, but hopefully you guys all also refollowed him later that night.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, man, because we went back to camp with no cell service. So
another day, did you refollow?
Yeah, we're all back following.
Oh, okay. That's what I mean. Like you all came back, and
what was funny about it is it was all we all followed it back, and then Rod said, "Hey, this guy doesn't follow me anyway." So he's like, "Hell with him. I'm not following him." But I think he followed him. I don't know where we stand on that actually, but I did see that he's back to 1,000.
Nice.
But it was all fun. Hey, that's part of the group.
Yeah.
You got to take the fucking.
There's some good razzing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
I walked out and there was giant dicks drawn all over my Jeep.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
That's rookie stuff.
We put Trump 2020 all over Chris's Jeep. So, but he pushed out and wiped that off right away. So, anyways, yeah, that was just a funny little highlight. But
very funny.
On that note, if you're in Moab, go to Moab Distillery. Best food, best prices.
Nice.
I wish they had regular beer. They don't. They have.
It's all hard alcohol.
No, it's fancy beer. But if you order a Pilsner, it's the lightest beer. More like regular beer. And Zach's, I like Zach's.
I would think a distillery is more like.
Yeah, they have whiskey. They have their own. Yeah,
they do make that also.
Yeah, White Chris bought some of their. I think it's called Confederate or something like that.
Of course.
$70, bro.
Yeah, he's rich though.
He loves it. Man, his Jeep works so damn good, dude.
Really?
Oh, my God. You see it with the new half doors?
Mm-hmm.
And the B-pillar delete?
Nice, yeah.
God, it looks so
nice.
tough.
But did he even get to lean the cage into a rock?
Dude, it worked flawless. It didn't even need to.
Well, then he didn't need to cut the B-pillar.
You know what? It looked good. It looks so good.
It does.
In fact, it scratched the shit out of me. Because I rolled out of his.
It's not finished.
Jeep. No,
like he didn't buff it.
I was gonna show you just now, but I don't want that on the camera. My tits hanging out. But yeah, so I got big old gouge right here because his Jeep's hard to get in and out of, and I might have been at the end of the day anyway. I leaned on it.
You're tired.
Out, fucking tore on me, but it looks so tough, bro.
Yeah.
And he's not like he. I'm trying to think. On the other episode, I'm trying not to repeat what we did.
Yeah.
In fact, that whole story I just told was on the other one too. So you're gonna hear that twice, but just deal with it. But the other one, I have Rod there, and he talks about it.
Nice.
So that one's all right. At any rate, yeah, I forget where I was going with that. It's tough as nails. His truck looks badass.
So that's the end of your funny story,
yes,
sir.
Now let's get you. All right, interview.
You're done.
Interview time.
You're done.
Okay.
Get out of here. All right.
All right.
I want to know about the drive. Your Jeep has no AC. It's 170 degrees on the floor pan because
191.
You don't know what you're doing.
Dude.
But
yeah.
What time? So did you end up leaving early in the morning? Did you end up leaving at 8 a.m. like it was planned?
I walked into their group and we left at 8:30.
Okay.
So we left at a good time.
Yeah. And then straight up to Flagstaff from Phoenix pretty much, and then up. So you kind of go up an elevation right away.
Yep.
It wasn't too hot? How was it?
No, it was actually it was perfect. I was in shorts and a t-shirt with the half doors on and the back top on.
Nice. Because I know you were worried, mainly
Yeah.
about like sitting in 100+ degrees.
Yeah, going up was nothing. It was a breeze, and like I think the Jeep was super happy to go because it was running flawless, man.
Nice.
It was honking, and then we took off.
The Chevy 350 TBI engine just rips up the hills.
Yeah,
unlike a 3.7 Liberty motor.
no. I could pull 75, 80 up the hill,
Yeah.
no problem.
That's awesome.
But I walked. I came into the group. It's totally a different ride on the way home
Really?
So anyway, there's more issues. But on the way there, I walk in, I wore that shirt that said trailers are for boats. Don't tell anybody I'm there. 3 of the guys are on trailers, And nobody noticed it for a few seconds, and then Daryl finally smacks me in the chest. He's like, "Buddy, you better hope you don't need the trailer this week."
Now just remember this: if you need a trailer to get home.
And I was like, "Hey, yeah." So then I snuck a picture of me standing by my Jeep on the ground and 2 trailer Jeeps. And
that's awesome.
with
I saw that post. It was in a big parking lot or something.
Yeah,
like a big gas
I
station.
think that's the Shell. That's where we take it.
Nice. So you actually drove out to Moab. I know White Chris drove, Orange Chris drove.
Yep.
And then a couple of the other guys all had trailers or met up out there.
Yeah, Daryl had a trailer. Don had a trailer. Steve came with us for the first couple of days, and he had his new trailer.
Yep. And then Rod came from California?
Yep, on his
trailered.
trailer. Yeah.
Did you notice how Rod has a white truck, a white Jeep? Daryl has a silver truck, a silver Jeep.
Yeah.
Steve has a maroon truck and a maroon Jeep. They don't make a khaki metallic truck, dude.
Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna fit in?
That's too funny. Yeah, you're not.
I gotta get it wrapped.
Well, no.
I gotta get it wrapped.
Don has a
in
red truck with a white Jeep.
Ooh.
It did look odd though.
Yeah. But that truck's new.
Oh.
He used to have a white Silverado, I think.
That's right. A Ford.
Ford.
Speaking of which, his truck went into limp mode like 4 times before Dawn.
The brand new red one?
Yeah, before we made it to flag, and kept telling him he'd have to shut down, shut it off, turn it back on. Every time he go on an incline, it would go into limp mode and tell him his what do you call it? The fuel filter is bad and needs to be replaced. So I kept ragging on him all week. I kept saying, "I save all my maintenance for the trail too, buddy." So then wasn't Steve, Daryl's straps came loose. One strap came off.
And Daryl's got 100 straps on his Jeep.
I know, luckily, because one of them came off. Yeah. So then we pulled over again for that, and then I was at the top, and I was like, I talked to the Chris's. Me and the Chris's were driving, and I said, the only reason we've stopped so far for the trailers. But it was kind of comical. But aside from that, we got gas and flag and Cayenta, and then we finished.
That's not bad at all.
Uh-uh.
How long do you think it is from Phoenix to Moab?
477 miles.
But like how many hours was stopping and
it's
so
about
roughly
8.
8 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You lose an hour going there.
Yeah, of course.
So that sucks. But at the speeds we were at and stuff, we were moving pretty good.
Nice.
And then because for some reason the vibration was the least at around 75. So even though that, like, my Jeep was screaming, dude, like
nice.
When you pull up, you could smell all the oil.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's working.
It's hot.
It's working pretty hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So it's about an 8-hour trip out there. And then did you guys end up doing dry camping, or did you end up staying at like a place with a shower? What'd you find?
No, so we went in there, we met up with Rod. We ended up getting there Rod beat us by like a half hour.
Nice.
We met up at the car wash because that's awesome. No, we met up at we were making fun of, like, Steve parked next to the car wash. We're like, of course Steve did. You know what I mean? So he was making notes of where those were at. If you've ever been to Easter Jeep Safari and you've ever watched any of the social medias, those guys you literally go to the trail and the car wash is miles long because everybody has to wash their stuff, So anyway, so we met up with Rod, and my buddy Travis had mentioned going out to Willow Springs Road or Behind the Rocks. So Behind the Rocks was too far out of town. We wanted to be somewhat close, and Willow Springs Road is still way the hell out of town. So but it's all dry camping everywhere,
nice.
And it's free. But they have porta-johns out there. And
that's kind of nice,
dude. And they were so clean.
Yeah,
they came by every single day.
You guys showed up.
No, man,
fucking
every day,
spraying
I think,
dookie everywhere,
dude. 2 times a day, I think they came. Those
wow.
Johns were so clean. One of them had a candle in there. There was a bunch of hipsters camping. I never seen so many sensible SUVs, dude.
What's a sensible SUV?
Like a RAV4.
Oh, crossover.
Yeah, okay.
Like not a full SUV, not a full sedan.
Right.
But it's like 2-wheel drive.
Small version, kind of like what Kristen has, a Sorrento. You know what I mean? But they have mountain bikes on them, rooftop tents, and I was like, look at this. And all these hipsters, and minimalists, and there's a few guys that were a little bit overblown. Then you got us. We literally look like, I wouldn't say white trash because there's a lot of money sitting over there. But
dude, speaking of white trash, Steve.
What about him?
What do you think of his tent? His floppy ass doesn't really belong in that truck tent. That fucking.
Steve doesn't like to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
He does not like to look like a fool, right?
Yeah. We set that shit up at his house the day before. That's how we figured out it doesn't really work right. You got to get creative.
Yeah. So Orange Chris was trying to help him set it up. And I stayed away for a bit, and then I walked over there. And, so Steve has really done good for himself in life. He's what do you call it? He's, I don't want to call it, he's like what's an in-charge person? Like
he's a boss.
He's got authority with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He
carries, like his demeanor carries. He's in charge.
And when he looks silly, boy, he does not joke about that. Like, he tries to play it off, but you could just read it all over him. He's fucking pissed. You know what I mean? So he's fighting with the tent. Orange Chris is telling him what he's doing wrong, but he wasn't really doing it wrong. And he's trying to explain to it. And I could just see him which he's probably going to be like, no, what are you talking about? Brushing it off. But I could read it.
You should. It's your buddy. Just brush it off.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones where he can joke and all that stuff, but but I've learned if it becomes to him looking foolish for some reason, he's not cool with it.
I would think that's a lot of us though, in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Not in every circumstance.
You know what it is?
But
it's
we
moment.
set that tent up the night before, so Steve did know what that thing needs, because Steve had to figure out how to excuse me. It's a tent that goes into the back of a truck of a bed.
But it's meant for a Chevy Avalanche.
Yeah, which is like super high sides, super stubby, and it's not Steve's truck.
It had a really high roof, and that's what was throwing everything off.
Yeah.
So it sloped down. It looked like an igloo, and it was not going together at all. And we're trying not to scratch his truck.
Yes.
I heard you bumped it.
No. Not with the tent.
No, you smacked it with something else.
Yeah, with the fucking hook from tying his Jeep down, dude.
It has like 6 miles on it.
Yeah, I went to pull this ratchet strap through the loop,
Right.
and I just go, I was like,
oh shit.
But luckily, at the time I didn't think it scratched it, and it didn't break anything. Right. And Steve said, "You're excused."
Oh, good. But yeah, so he fucked around with it several times, and once everybody left, I don't know who else went back over there, but by the end of the time, he had something going. He had something that resembled a tent.
What a bummer. I did tell him, man, get some of those Harbor Freight moving blankets and throw them over the side of your truck. Because if you get a lot of wind and chafing, I was super worried it was going to rub and get wear marks right away.
The problem, though, is if you put that blanket on there in the winds with the dust under it, it's going to sand it and it'll be dull.
Not as much as the rough-ass tent edges.
I don't know.
Everything,
so.
It's not the best tent. And I offered him my tent, too.
Yeah. I think that tent's done. Yeah. I think he's not going to go with that tent anymore. But it was, he was under the gun. He bought it. Yeah. He thought it would work. Yep. It didn't work.
The idea is freaking cool.
Yeah, it looked good still when it was all done. He had a whole with his trailer. That's one thing nice about a trailer is you can set everything up. You have this giant long table. Yeah.
So, it's not in the dirt.
But he went back. He set up a shower, a shitter back there. He set up this whole camp, and I was like, I'm gonna set up a fucking shower. So, because I've always had an issue.
What'd you do to set up a shower?
Well, my tailgate with the new little holder for the tire holds the tailgate perfectly flat. So now I have a nice base
table.
And with the cooler there and all this stuff, and I put a towel up and I put the top of one of the totes down on the ground, and I boiled some water, and I had a pan and a washcloth, dude, and I just stripped naked, and I sat back there every single night, and I took a full
That's so nice.
sponge bath. I was so refreshed.
Because it was warm there, huh? I bet you guys were sweating a little bit during the day.
And dusty.
Yeah. You're right. Very dusty,
if
very
you've
warm.
seen White Chris, he didn't wash off for 3 days, dude. And until we finally went down to the river, and and he was. I never seen anybody covered in so much dirt.
Yeah.
And I literally was I go in with flip flops and freshly showered and everything, and got my hair did, so it was awesome,
Poor
dude.
Chris.
And then with my biggest thing is the crapper, and because they had a nice crapper every morning, I was going to drive to town every day to crap.
Damn.
But it was perfect. After
we
were there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so 7 days there, and I felt like $1 million. Literally,
That's
felt
awesome.
like I showed up the first day.
So cool. The drive there, no problems. Besides a few little issues, just technical stuff.
Yeah.
Camping, getting set up. Besides Steve, no problem.
Nope.
But nice accommodations. Everyone's fairly clean, eating, all that good stuff. So what was the first? When did you guys finally go wheeling?
So that end of that day. We went wheeling the next morning. We decided to do a moderate trail.
Yeah, get into it easy
to warm up. And I always wanted to do. I want that top of the world picture. So
that's
we
right.
had the top of the world.
Yep. And you did you lunged off your Jeep. I saw that photo. You tried to jump off the cliff.
Yeah. It's I had There was more room there than what it looks. But
okay.
yeah, I did one of those where you get on the fender and sail off. You know,
Yeah.
but
How's the landing on that?
hurt,
dude?
Oh, it hurt.
That's all I thought. I was like, oh my god, my ankles, my
probably
knees,
5
my
feet in the air.
my wrists are probably gonna hurt because I got to put my wrists down to like catch myself. You know, like
If you see it's actually a video and a screenshot taken out of the video.
okay.
Dude, my left leg wouldn't jump. It didn't fully extend. It came off crooked, and then I spread everything out, and just the camera angle happened to make it look awesome. And but when I landed, I stumbled forward, and but I ran down the side of the edge. But that edge is what,
The
2
side
to
of
3.
the edge?
So there's
Oh my
like if this
God.
is the cliff, you know, like I jumped out. You're parked right here. I jumped off and ran like this.
Oh, you ran along
Along the edge. Yeah,
it
yeah.
sounded worse at first. Like you ran down the
No,
side
no,
of the edge. I was like, oh.
But there was probably 5 or 6 feet I had to land. So.
You could have tumbled pretty well and not gone over.
Dude, if I would have slipped on the jump and then landed on my stomach.
What if you had a little oil on your shoe and it's a smooth metal fender, like
that was really sketchy. And what's funny is you would think, oh, I'll get out on that rock, and like Jimmy from Snell Trail's going, you can go way farther out there.
yeah.
There's a fucking giant crack across the tip of that rock.
Oh, so in your mind, if you cross that, it's gonna break off and you're gonna die.
Going up there, everywhere is big piles of boulders on the bottom of pieces falling off the rock. You know what I mean? That's going
Like
to come
shale,
off.
like shale rock.
Somebody's going to be on that tip and it's going to fall off because it's cracked all the way across. And and Cooper from Power Products, he's got his diesel so far out past that crack. Dude.
I saw that photo.
There's a video.
He's guiding people to like come on, you can hang a tire off. Come on.
So here's the other thing. Rod spotted me when I went up there, and my left tire is about maybe 3 feet from the edge.
Yeah.
The right is like 7 feet. So the right looks further away, but the left
I got
you're close.
The side that's not visually pleasing in the photo is actually way closer.
Exactly, yeah. So I could have scooted over that or whatever.
Don't you guys have drones? Can't you like make this?
No,
look
neither
cool?
one of us brought one. I didn't have any room, and Steve forgot his because he rushed at the last minute to get it.
Oh no, I was helping him get all set up.
There is a drone shot though. If you look up some I think it's called Bronco Time. A whole Bronco group went up there, and the drone shot, you can see the crack that I'm talking about. You can see it, and that thing's like, I think it was a confirmed 2,000 or 3,000 foot straight down. Like we threw a rock and timed the rock.
So what if you still do it, but you wear a parachute when you do?
You know what I was thinking?
3,000 feet.
We should hook a rope, a cable to the back of a Jeep, and then drive the front tires off, and then let it hit so that it looks like you went too far, and then be like, oh my god, that would go totally viral. But so
you can make a TikTok out of that.
We couldn't get White Chris to get up to it. He wouldn't do it. So here's the other thing: is it's not flat; it's uphill. You have to drive up it. You have to drive to it, and
which is good. So you can't roll over. You can only roll back on accident.
You can't, but you have to give it gas to get to the edge. And you're like, so they're like, come on.
Yeah, but and you're ultra low with
I just
150 something to 1 crawl.
Yep.
You have a lot of control.
Absolutely. I needed no gas.
These automatics who are like, vroom, vroom.
So it's done under idle, but I can't stop it with the brakes. So if the clutch failed, it was just going to drive off. You know what I mean? Like all that crap is going through your head, dude.
I forgot you can't stop because it's too.
It powers through the
you
brakes.
have too much torque, final torque output in the low crawl.
I have a video set in Rod's Jeep with the bigger camera.
Yeah.
Of what it looks like from the seat of the driver's seat.
Nice.
And it's not fun. It's everybody. I wasn't going to do it when I first walked up. I was like, maybe I don't need that picture.
Dude,
and then
with your 511 belt, side tangent.
Yeah.
You should have gone down at like 100 feet on the winch rope.
We did
and
talk
come
about
back
it. I was like, I didn't bring it up. We talked about it earlier, but I didn't bring it up there. I wasn't going to have it.
I wouldn't do that. That's just a joke.
That's also when I found out.
That's irresponsible.
My transmission bolt was hanging out.
Oh, that's not
so. I felt I put the shifter in granny low, and the whole shifter's smacking around inside. I was like, I think I got a broken mount, and then fixed them out. It was just loose.
So that trail's called Top of the World?
Yeah. So
that you said that's a long trail too, right?
Yeah,
like
all day.
Like bumpy road long or rock crawling long or everything?
It was actually a nice, very easy, mild ride. It does like a loop. So you go to the top and you can loop around or come back down the same way. The loop eventually goes back to itself, and then so it's like a
lollipop.
Yeah, exactly. Boop. So if you go up and you run that counterclockwise, that's the way we happen to have done it. The biggest ledges are on the left. that left side of the loop. So we ended up going down the ledges instead of up them.
Oh, okay.
Either way would be fun, but those ledges, if you're less built, you want to run it counterclockwise because you want to drop the ledges because you need to be pretty built to go up them, I would think.
Like more built than most of the people
No, we would have made it all.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
But it's more challenging, more risk, more.
It'd have been
everything.
funner. I think it would have. If we go back, we'll go that way.
Whoa, nice.
Because it would have been a lot funner because you're climbing all those instead of dropping off them, and some of them are big, like big crazy drops.
That's awesome.
But it was a good time, man. It was a really good time. I would do that trail in the dark.
Cool. So day 1, you did top of the world. What about that night of camping?
Yeah.
Would you guys did you guys bust out all the grills?
Yep.
And, like,
my new grill.
How's the food? Oh yeah. Did you see the requests? Some people on Instagram wanted to know about your grill. So if you don't mind, on the
Black Stone.
Oh, that's the name of it.
Yeah, it's a black stone thing. Worked great.
It's literally the size of your stovetop in your house, right?
No, so you know that back shelf? It's about the size of one of those little black and yellow totes.
Oh.
Same size as that.
Okay.
It just seemed huge trying to stuff it in there. But I got it figured out. But so it's okay. It doesn't have a lid on it, but it has a top. And I found I left the first morning I left it out. I wiped it down and then left that up like that.
Okay.
And it was covered in bugs the next morning.
Oh, because they're eating all the grease.
So I had to wash it all off, and then you could take it off and flip it upside down and use it as a lid. That's the way to keep it from doing that shit. So.
But we should definitely post it. And if you have do you have a couple of photos of like you making food or anything, or setting it up?
It worked awesome. It's
Nice.
the greatest square scottle. We were calling it the squattle. Like but it's badass.
So what'd you guys eat the first night? Like I gotta, I'm a secret fatty. Well, it's not even a secret.
It's funny because I broke out some meatballs, right?
Okay.
And I just bought a package of meatballs, and everybody's like, "No, man, we're doing what the hell we do?" Oh, Chris, they had all that carne asada tacos and shit, and the chicken that they always get. And so I was like, "All right, I got meatballs to add to this." So I cooked the meatballs, trying to use the thing, and everybody was like, "It's meatballs."
They're all right.
But then I was like, and then I started telling everybody, "They're appetizer meatballs. Come over and grab them."
Yeah.
Them fuckers
Smart.
were gone, dude.
Yeah.
Just like that, and they were delicious, bro. Making my mouth water right now. And I didn't rate. So we had meatballs, the carne asada, tacos, and all that other stuff. I made it a point to not overeat, not eat the shit that was messing up my stomach. So I didn't have no sauce.
Because you're out of town. Like you don't want all of a sudden like an IBS issue.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Like middle of the trail, you got to just spray a cactus down. I mean.
Yeah. Well, we had the porta-johns, but I was trying to really enjoy it, knowing it could suck if you didn't feel comfy.
And it's easy to just hang out with your buddies, drink too much, eat too much, and then you probably sleep like crap.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was fine. I didn't do any of that. It was great. I even had a salad one night, and then I bought like lunch meats for the trail, threw them in the cooler. Having the cooler is phenomenal because you just add to it, bro. And like I did freeze my egg whites on accident. I'm still learning the positions that freeze and don't freeze, and but no issues with the battery, nothing, man. Everybody's food was cold. We had eggs.
Awesome.
That
Pretty much
fridge
everyone in
without
our
a
group
doubt
now has an actual fridge, right? Like the ARB fridge, or yours is Engo, or no, what is it?
Engel. Yep. And it's cool. It all worked great, and my little setup works great. I can get to the cooler without taking anything off. And
that's awesome.
It is awesome. It came out really good.
That's one of the things I want to do in my Jeep. I think I'm going to take out the back bench seat because no one ever rides with me. There's no seatbelts back there. I think I'm just going to take it out, make a nice platform, and mount like a cooler.
Yeah.
And then the other side will just be for whatever I want to take.
Yeah.
Like all my camping equipment can just be piled up. There'll just be a spot for it,
That's the way to go for sure. But at any rate, the food was fantastic all week. I had the breakfast stuff figured out. I just made a simple egg cheese sandwich and stuff.
Yeah.
But every morning was
but it
like
hits the spot, huh?
Yeah, and
that
not
and the
overeat.
vodka.
Just
I
eat
mean,
one. No, I stuck to just beer. I wasn't gonna do anything else. I did sip a whiskey, I had a sip of a whiskey, to taste it. But at the bar, I just stuck
to
to
Orange Chris. Did he bring out what did he bring?
No, it was White Chris. I almost called
the
him
stuff
Black
he
Chris.
bought. The stuff he bought at the place.
And I think he had Jack Daniels or something in the beginning.
Of course.
I don't remember.
That dude likes to get down on some Jack and Coke, man.
But aside from that, man, camp was fantastic. Everybody, it was just cool. It was a very good camp. It was actually like we kept talking about it in the beginning. We're going to go get a hotel for one of the nights and
no one did.
Huh? We all stayed at the camp because the setup was perfect, dude. And
you're right.
The weather
you're
was
right
nice.
though. If you can use the bathroom, if you can sleep like temperature wise, if you can sleep comfortably, and then you guys are rinsing off and just trying to stay a little bit clean.
Yep.
That's plenty already for a week of camping.
Then we had these little mouse. We called them kangaroo mice. Dude, they were like this big with a tail like 8 inches long, and they just hopped. They didn't run. They hopped. They were super slow, dude. But they opened my fucking tote, got in the tote, shit everywhere, ate like 4 granola bars and got into the bread.
And got out.
And never looked like they were there, dude. I opened it up and I'm like, that sucks. There's little poops everywhere. Like he feasted on all that. So I chucked that shit
Do you think
out.
you left it unlatched? Like they pushed it open? Like how would they get in?
It just snaps down anyway. So I don't know how the hell they got in. I looked for a hole that maybe they chewed through, but they were in there.
Fucking kangaroo mouse.
I know, dude.
God damn it.
Bastards. And Daryl's kid, Kyle. You ever meet Kyle?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that guy was like 19, so I'm all like treating him like a kid. I'm like, hey, buddy. And then Daryl said he's
like
30.
Is he 30? I was going to say he's at least mid to late 20s.
He's funny because he would put it, he organized it. There was this one perfect spot for a tent, and everybody was shopping.
Did he really use the kids' tent?
It was a little tent, yeah. I don't know if it was a kid's
tent. It was the one from Mud Springs that Daryl had bought.
Is it blue?
I think it's blue.
Yeah.
And he got in it, and it was like his head and his waist got in, and his legs were outside. That's how big it was.
That's funny. No, well, yeah, he was in a blue tent. So, at any rate, but so he puts his tent up, and then he had ants, so he moves it over here, and then there was ants over there, and then he moves it over here, and then every single time we came, he had his tent in a different spot. And that's like one day, dude. Like, and then we come back, and he has his tent at the top of this mountain, dude, at this rock. You see the tent way up there, and he's like all prepared. He's all good. And then middle of the night, you see him coming down. He's like, "Fucking ants got in my tent." And then he eventually put it in Daryl's truck, dude. And then it became
in the bed.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Did anyone else have ants?
No. We're like, I don't know, dude.
All right, day 2.
Yeah, day 2, Pritchett
Canyon.
Yeah.
No, or is it just Pritchett?
Pritchett Canyon.
That's the one with the cool obstacles that are like the ledges, and you slide over on the side, right?
That was the main reason I was there.
Yeah,
yep, because that's
Pritchett. Supposed
to be, now that BFE is closed, that's supposed to be the hardest trail in.
Aren't they redoing it or something, or like reopening, or
shit? I don't know.
No one knows.
Who knows? They're out there right now, Ultra 4 racing.
I don't want to say no one knows. We don't know.
Yeah, and it's just you hear all kinds of different shit.
Oh, okay.
So. Anyway, yeah, Pritchett. We got a guide from Outlaw.
Did you guys hire him, or he's a buddy, or how's that work? Like, or is it secret?
Yeah, probably secret.
Okay, good. No, that's fine.
We all teeped him.
Oh, okay.
What he would have done for us. I don't know if I should put that in there. He gave us a price of what it would have cost, and then we all chipped in.
Oh, so you basically paid
him. Yeah,
you basically paid him. I got you.
He did it for us as a favor to get out because he's friends with Rod.
Nice.
And we all tipped.
Yeah,
him.
Rod knows people.
Yeah,
I mean he's the Rod man.
He really is.
Not Dennis.
No, Rod's cool, man. And then not Dennis.
Dennis Rodman.
Oh. No, so dumb.
I know.
Okay, so anyways, we met up with him. I'm nervous as hell. I did pick this trail because I wanted to do it. I was trying to push the limits of whatever I don't like Moab. You know what I mean? Because I'm scared of it. You know?
Yeah, but this trail is not a cliff trail, right? This is an obstacle trail.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, all right, cool. There's no major death, no major cliffs or anything like that. So we get there, and he says, this trail is no joke. You could absolutely die on this trail. There's rollovers. There's this. There, and he goes through this thing, his little spiel, and he goes, "If you're not scared, you absolutely should be right now." If, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my god. Then my heart's sinking, and I got some videos of me trying to, I'm like talking in the beginning, and I'm real soft spoken, and I'm just so freaking scared, dude. I'm even trying to control my breathing, but okay. Last minute checks. There we go in. I'm all soft spoken because I'm scared to death. It's the man of the hour. Anyway, it wasn't bad at all.
Oh.
It wasn't. The trail's very tough. I actually think it's probably the hardest trail I've done.
Ever,
yeah.
Wow.
But it wasn't like that rocker knocker and stuff like that. That didn't look intimidating at all. Like none of it looked. I'll take that back. Two things looked intimidating, which Yellow Hill from a distance looks super scary because it looks so steep, but it was nothing. It was really nothing. And then Axel Hill, that one.
I saw a cool video of Steve on that one. Or no. Maybe Orange Chris.
Yeah.
Or Steve. I don't know.
Axel Hill to me was the scariest. Absolutely the scariest thing there.
What was it? Steve? Was it like?
Yeah,
it was a climb.
The videos they don't do any freaking justice to any of this stuff. Even staring.
Try to add some of the videos into this.
Yeah, I'll put some on there.
Cool.
So It's just so steep, but I think I've used this analogy before. It is literally like if you started at the end of your driveway. If you have a regular driveway, right? You start at the beginning of the driveway, and by the time you hit the garage, you're on top of the house. So it's about that steep, right? It's about the same.
Big.
It's about the same height. So now you're cresting onto the first eve of the house, and then right there, which isn't enough room for my entire Jeep to fit on flat. You start climbing another 4-foot ledge and turning right and straddling a crack.
Nice.
A little bit off camber at the top.
So you got to stay in the gas. Like you can't just stop and slide down.
Yeah.
Is it pretty grippy?
It's grippy, but not great grippy.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's pretty steep.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely grippy. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to get up it. But if you don't, like in the very beginning, you can't just walk up and crawl it. You have to get up on it, and as your momentum goes, it'll start to slow. Like as I crest that middle one, it starts to slip again.
Okay, back up.
You know, and then
you just chug through it.
You're definitely better off if you have good throttle control and you can just keep moving. That's what White Chris was doing. He never stopped. He would watch everybody and then see the line and then power through it. And that is definitely the way to go.
Interesting.
Rod and myself, he would have us get to one stop and then regroup and then hit the second step.
Okay.
But every time we do the second part, I get stuck. Yeah. So it's like, damn. And then there was on that hill, I bet I could have made that hill. I did eventually. At some point in time, you want to pull cable before you get in major trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could,
and it's a nice trip away from home.
Yeah.
You want to be able to drive home. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I'd give it like 2-3 tries, and then I would just pull the cable.
And when you say tries, are you coming all the way back down?
No.
You're stuck on
this.
You get up the ledge to that first thing, and that's your.
So now I can watch that video, and I get up there, and I see the back tire hit, and about a half a foot out, you should get in the gas and roll into the face.
Yeah.
And you're at the top of that ledge, but he's like, yeah, just come up, crawl. And he's like, you should be able to crawl this. So I just kept crawling. And when I hit it, it didn't crawl. It actually slid the ass into the crack. So then he's like, no, you got to back up. And he's like, you got to get up this nub. So now I'm on this ledge trying to back up, and every time I'd hit the brake, the front tires would just bounce off the ground. You know what I mean?
The weight distribution's weird, yeah.
Exactly. The tire's just not touching.
Yeah.
So I try to get to the nub and I wasn't about to try to bump it right there. Not me anyway. Now it's hard with the clutch because
of course.
Well, because there's that second it takes you to go from the brake to the gas, and then everybody's like, come on, and I'm trying to let the clutch out until it's holding itself, and then I could rev the gas and then dump it. But you're just trying to find all that stuff going on. So anyways, I was just like, let's keep it moving. It's a long-ass day, and we'll just keep going. So we did that, and I winched on Axel Hill. But yeah, we got in there. There are a couple really wicked, sketchy downhills, dude, off-camber downhills. These shits you don't see in these videos. Yeah.
Or it doesn't, even if you see it, it doesn't show it well.
Yeah, not at all. And then there's this one we like. There's a bunch of fun little ledges down in the wash. You'll have a blast in there. It's all fun getting to the big obstacles. The trail was awesome, by the way. Super, really, really, really good. It's not as fun as the Rubicon because the Rubicon it's nowhere near as hard, but it was funner. It was longer. This is challenging for sure. Anyway, so you get in there. We're all working our way back there. What was funny about it, hold on, I got to back up. We're in the meeting, and he said, this guy, Jeremy, he said, I can see all you guys have wheeled together. You know each other. You're pretty much, you could tell you've wheeled a lot. You can see by your rigs and how they're built, blah, blah, blah.
Beat up,
I know you're experienced. And he's like, but if you want to spot, you have to tell me to spot. Only one person will talk to the driver.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. And then he said, but I'm not about to have somebody else yelling in the ear.
Nope.
So, which was really cool. Then he told us how he spots and all that stuff. We get to the trailhead. We get to the trailhead. I go to air down. And I air down to my normal 6, and I look over at Chris Byers, and he's got this really nice fat roll going on his tire. So I was like, what do you air down to? He's like 6, and I'm like, I don't get that. So I air down more to get to hit the bulge like he's got.
Yeah, the visual bulge.
Which puts me at 2, okay? 2 PSI. So then I drive 10 feet and have to air back up because I'm slamming the diff cover on everything.
Oh my God.
I'm on the rim.
Yeah,
I'm like, I have 3 flat tires, dude. So I jump out, I air back up real fast, I take off, and I only aired up to like 5. Yeah. Still the bulge there. I get going a little bit, and I hear psst, psst,
Yep.
psst. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I had the same issue. That's the really old, I don't want to say dry rotted, but really old hard tire not liking being flexed.
And one of the slices that I had in it tore.
Cut
it open. So now I got to tell the guy, he's like, so far I've aired down twice, got too low, aired back up, aired back down, and
now you got a flat.
And now I have a flat. So I told him, you guys just go, I'll catch up. And I was second or third in line.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I was like, I'll catch back up. So Steve turned around and came back. I changed that tire out, and then still had time to crack jokes though, because my tire change only took 8 minutes, and Chris Byers took 1 hour out back. So we're like, it was still under an hour.
He had a flat tire in Moab too.
No.
Oh, I'll bet. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
On a previous one. So we were cracking jokes on him as I'm changing my own tire. So then we get it back in, and then that tire eventually also went flat. I tore a hole in that one, but we stuffed it with like 8 plugs, and I finished the day on it. And then I borrowed.
Did you do the knot do you have the long plugs with the knot in the middle?
No, Orange Chris had never done it, so he used his kit and he wanted to do it. So we didn't need the long. He just kept stuffing them in there, and we put that glue on it, and then lit it on fire and melted it all together. It worked good, dude.
I never thought of lighting it on fire.
Me neither. My kit didn't even have the rubber glue. So anyway, the toolbox shit. A quick update on the Jeep. Now that I don't have the toolboxes, it's a pain in the ass to get to anything, dude.
Yeah. Well, but you have 5 years of having it one way.
Right. So everything. My tire kit used to be I could get to it in seconds.
Yeah.
And now it's at the bottom of the tool bag, dude. That's like, holy shit. Yeah. So even my airing up thing, what a mess. So anyways, I get that new tire on. I go to air down with the monster valve. Fucking monster valve won't shut off. It's airing, the new spare airs all the way flat. So I have to get back out. At this point, I put the air compressor away, or the thing away.
Yeah, you gotta get it all back out.
I put all the crap back on.
Did you over tighten it, you think?
Dude, it would not seal. I ended up taking the fucking monster valve off the other rim, putting it on this rim.
Unthreading it?
No, I just took
just the pieces.
Caps. Yeah. Took it off, licked the O-ring, got it all cleaned back up, screwed it back on. And then at this point now I'm just eyeballing everything, trying to catch up. So I air it back up, take back off. It's still pissing air. You're right. I have to get it totally quiet and get right up on it to listen to make sure it's sealed. Yeah. So like an idiot, I take dust, just freaking fine dirt, and throw it on it like I would see it piss
out. Like bubbles, like soapy water with bubbles.
Or like I would see it spit out, and it does nothing, dude. All it did was fucking trash the O-ring on it.
Yeah.
So it leaked all day long. I kept airing the one tire back up. And then
how strange. I wonder if you could I wonder if we can just order some O-rings from Power Tank,
We need to.
Or like a red cap and a bunch of spare O-rings if it's an issue.
You definitely need that, and you definitely need a plug, because you're screwed if you can't fix that.
Well, I can't plug mine. I can't unthread mine.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you're right. I can. I need a plug for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucked. It totally sucked, dude.
What a bummer.
I was really struggling with it, and I literally have to shut everything off and play with it on, off, and then using the Morphlate, okay, to air up all 4.
Did you end up putting all the big monster valve size things on it?
Yeah, but there's no stop valves in them, check valves. So when you hook up one tire,
it has to be at the Morphlate.
Yeah, no, it's on each valve. So when I I have it turned off at the tank, right?
Okay.
I get it plugged in at the tank, turned off. I plug in a tire on the one valve, on the one chuck, and it starts pissing out the other 3 chucks. So now I'm running around really fast trying to get those chucks on.
You're right, because all the tire pressure is pushing into the hoses.
Yeah.
How does that work on the Morphlate then? How do there's no stops on mine. It's
on
the chuck.
Their chuck has a check valve in it. The smaller ones have a check valve, and they're stopped. The bigger ones don't. So
yeah, how the fuck do you take it off?
And even on that one single chuck from Morphlate, that has an on off on it.
Yeah. So
because it just pisses air through it. So I'm running around trying to get it on. I went from 6 to 4 before I get it.
It's a monster valve,
dude. Yeah. So I go to get it up. I go to put it on, and
you almost need to take them. Sorry to interrupt, but you almost need to take it apart, add like a legit 90-degree like on off
on each end,
on each one.
Yeah, nightmare. So so then the ARB, what is my air tank? 15 gallons probably. Okay. So the ARB, when that tank is full, it kicks ass for it took 6 minutes. 6 minutes and like 48 seconds or something to air up all of them when I finally got them up to 27, right? From 4 to 27. And then I had 4 people grab each chuck at once, and we all unhooked it at once, which was a major pain in the ass. I was like, well, that's not going to happen. So then I went, I'm going to try it with just one because it got good when the air tank went out. It went crazy slow. It probably went from 4 to 6, or I'm sorry, from 4 psi to probably like 12 or 15 psi in 30 or 40 seconds.
But now you're relying on the
5
CFM airflow.
6 minutes for the other thing. So then what happened? So then I did it with the single one, and on a single one with a regular size I have a 25-foot regular size garage one, dude. You open that bitch up and you can watch the tire go whoosh. Yep. It just stands up until the tank's empty.
Yeah.
And then it dies. And then the ARB can't fill the tank and your tire at the same time. It's too much. So when it does that, I need to be able to shut the tank off so it feeds straight from the ARB.
Oh, bypass it.
Yeah. Because
can you feed? Would you run 2 lines? Would you run a splitter from the compressor? Mm-mm. How do you shut the tank off and keep filling?
I'll put it between the T and the tank. I'll put a valve.
Oh.
So that'll be easy to shut off. And I have to do that because the ARB ran so long, it popped my fuse. The same circuit breaker, which then shut off my fans, which then made my damn Jeep start to overheat. See where I'm going? I was fucking pissed again. You know what I mean?
So you know what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Just stick with CO2.
Well, I'm definitely not going to use the Morflate with the monster valves. It's not good. It doesn't work. It's too much.
It's not enough air.
Mm-mm. Not with an ARB.
Not with an ARB.
So Tyler wants the testing and that, so I'm going to do one with a CO2 tank.
Yep.
And then I'm going to clean up that kit and we'll raffle it off. Or not raffle it off, or we'll give it out.
Yeah, we'll do something good with it.
Yeah, we'll do some sort of promotion thing. We'll pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah. Because it doesn't currently work with your setup anymore.
Nope. And
unless Tyler's got some good input somehow. Maybe he knows something like a trick on airflow on something.
It'd be cool. I still don't even think that the ARB, well, I'd have to then try it again with no tank.
Yeah.
But it took forever to even go up 1 pound with the tank and all 4 tires in the big hose and all that. It wasn't, it's a nightmare. There's a window that it can work in.
Yeah.
So
what if you got a bigger tank?
No.
No.
Well,
no way.
Dude,
it'd be huge.
Overheat my freaking Jeep trying to fill the tank. It'd be better with a smaller little tank. I really don't know. That tank's a monster. Yeah. So I don't really have it figured out, but it's not right. It's not working right. But there's a lot of chances for opportunity to fix it. Anyway, that's where I'm at with that.
All right.
My experience with the monster valves.
So you
definitely need spare O-rings. Yeah. I might even get a spare cap, and a plug to be able to plug it somehow.
My caps don't have that nice little leash thing to them.
Yeah.
Like I was worried about that.
That thing was a pain in the ass. I'm going to take that off.
Oh, the cap. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was a nightmare.
But I'm worried I could lose the caps.
Dude, I just threw it in the rim, and if you lose it, you lose it. You don't need that other. You don't need it. It just looks pretty.
That little rubber catcher deal.
Yeah, but you just throw them on the ground, and it's fine. That thing, you would have to push around, turn, push around, turn. Oh, my God. It was aggravating when you're under the gun like that.
Yeah.
So, but if that thing didn't work, if I couldn't get it to seal, I would have had no tires. I would have been down a tire.
Yeah. Another tire.
Yeah, that was on the spare. So it was like, luckily I got it to work. And even then, airing down, there ain't nothing like it, man. 30 seconds to air down a tire is awesome. But you better make sure that shit's clean. Yeah. I was also we're going to start carrying a little spray bottle for the bubbles. If it's all loud, you could just spray it, a little soapy bottle.
Interesting.
You could even get like a
I wonder where we live. It's so hot. It's so dry. The Jeeps sit around a lot in the garage, just at least during the week or for like a month at a time. I wonder if we need to be like doing maintenance to those monster
I would say
valves.
at least a month, every month to lube them up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use Vaseline. I would use like a pool of silicone,
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah. It's definitely worth it. It's not hard to do.
No.
It's super easy. But we definitely need to have that in our mind. We got to be prepared for that because it's going to happen. There's no way it's not.
how inconvenient in Moab to find out.
Dude, the slightest freaking piece of dirt in there makes it leak. So
so far mine have worked great. Yeah. But I've only aired them down twice.
Yeah. And we were in some wicked dusty stuff. So it's like silt. Yeah. So anyways.
Interesting.
So we got up. So the first hill was Chewy Hill, the first main obstacle. That's a bump, like you basically just bump your way up it. It was really
nice.
I don't know. If it
wasn't as bad as it looks.
Nice. No, I mean, it's intimidating. Chewy Hill's steep.
What's the one with the big double step that you can either people jump up it or they slide sideways?
That's the rocker knocker one.
That's rocker knocker?
Yeah. Oh. So again, that doesn't look intimidating at all. There's a spot after that obstacle.
It looks off camber pretty good.
It's really off camber.
Yeah.
It pushes it to the edge of where you could dump over, and it doesn't feel right at all. but that was in the low.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then it's weird. You have to climb up it to get to that second ledge, and then you slip off.
Oh.
And then there's a little nub halfway down. So you have to be way down there to be able to get to the second level.
To get traction.
And then as it slips, and then you don't want traction because it'll try to climb. You know what I mean? So you're going slow to get it to slip. You're trying to make it to slip. And then when you get to that nub, it's for all the automatics, they had to back up and wiggle and back up and wiggle. I just pushed the clutch in and the front would slide over. And I just did that a few times and went around the nub and up and out.
You didn't do like a dig or nothing fancy?
No, I wanted to. I did get to do a dig on a baby step.
Front dig?
Yep.
Obviously. Like
so
a rear dig is just rear wheel drive.
So we get on Chewy Hill in the beginning of the day, and I come up, and that shit goes sideways so fast. You're making good progress. I'm like, boom, 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 and whoo, it just whips to the left.
Damn.
And you need to go to the right, I know.
No,
so you got to go to the left. So it slides off to the left, and you're so off camber when it hits. That's when you're precarious. You could easily roll over.
Damn.
And you're sitting on there sideways. So he's like, okay, wait. You have to go hard driver and back up. Well, as I go hard driver, the front just kept sliding down. It wasn't trying to climb back. But if I could have locked the rear and fucking rear digged reverse, in reverse, I could have swung the back end right back or the front back up.
Front dig or rear dig?
I'm going to do a front dig,
yeah.
but in reverse.
See
what I mean?
I got you.
So at any rate, so as it's sideways, you could lock it up. And I thought to myself, I should do a front dig, even if I would have just tried to do a normal front dig. And I don't know, very first hard op school, I wasn't going to tell that guy what to do. You know what I mean? So we get going. I get through it. I eventually did get the front end, I think, back around, and then I just hooked to a winch point to keep it moving because I've been on there for a while.
So you had to winch up it?
Yeah, I ended up winching that.
Damn.
I winched 3 times on it. I had to winch Chewy, Axle, and
but a lot of it just to be safe too, and
more safe than anything.
Good.
So
that's all right.
And then
dang, you got a lot left.
I know. I've been talking this whole time. Okay.
You're exhausted.
So anyways, everybody else rocked. You know, like I think Rod had to winch. The little stomper guy had to winch. I think everybody else made it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They Chris jams up it and then stops. It gets all, kind of crossy because there's like 2 parts to it.
Yeah.
You get up and then you stop
it's like
and
a double
regroup.
step.
Yeah, it's weird. And again, pictures the pictures make it look like a 3 and it's a 10.
Damn,
it's a legit
really?
10. So it's steep.
You're right. Even your video of you sliding over it sideways.
Yeah, looks like nothing.
I know it's off camera, but it doesn't look as bad.
That video or that whole obstacle really wasn't spooky at all.
Oh, okay.
Like that was actually just fun.
And no one tried to send it up straight?
Daryl.
Oh.
Daryl went to do it because his rear locker wasn't working.
Wow. Yeah. What was up? What was up with that?
I don't know. Just broke. That little seal on the inside of his ARB.
The internal ARB that is known, or you think the bulkhead seal?
No, we tore it all out.
Okay.
So it ended up being the internal seal.
Damn.
And nobody had one in town.
Well, and you have to break the case open. I mean, it's not just like an easy fix. I don't.
Well,
think.
Dixie and Dixie Offroad and Rory over at Moab Motorsports, those 2 guys would have done it.
Oh, okay.
But they just didn't have the part.
Damn.
So the
and a couple days to get it. By that time, you're already heading out of town.
Yeah. And he can, and we all used to wheel without a locker.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's not that big a deal. He still had the front. But so again, now that guy that was leading us, he's not trying to trash our Jeeps. He doesn't want to roll us. He's not trying to hurt us. So he did what he knew. He did the safest way to get through all those things for us. Because Daryl wanted to go up it a few times, and he was like, "If you brake when you bounce, you come down. That's when you brake. You know what I mean?" So,
how was his bounce? Did he bounce pretty good, or did he?
Yeah, it was a good one.
But nothing broke. Huh?
But so that guy, he made us do this specific way. Now there's a red LJ below us or behind. Daryl kept going. I think I could just go right up and out of that corner. You know. Because you see it, and I asked him. I said, "How come nobody ever goes up straight up the corner?" He's like, "You can't do that." So Daryl tries. He gets up. He ended up having to winch. He gets over.
So he couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it. No. But right behind him, and LJ does exactly what he gets up, slams, doesn't make it, turns it sideways, slides it, goes straight up, and he was in the gas. A lot has to do with not caring if you could do damage and and just staying in the gas.
Yeah.
If you got the balls to do that and not caring what happens, this trail will be fun. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So, yeah. So then, but after that, now you're up higher, and there's like a 5-foot ledge you got to climb to get on the next level, dude. And that's like an afterthought.
That's
and
a lot.
It's freaking straight up, but it's got all these edges sticking out. So you're like, oh my God.
How do people do with the big bumpers sticking out? No issues, like no real big approach angles, or?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with Chris on
Okay.
Chewy Hill before we took a piss. We had a break and took a piss. Chris was booking up Chewy Hill, gets into that section, stops. You know, like, he gets in the section, he stops, and then he gets a little crazy, and the guy tells him, back up 3 feet, and Chris backs all the way off the trail. They're off the obstacle, and he looks at us and he goes, "Why the hell are you guys not listening to what I'm trying to tell you to do?" And you could see it getting to him, and then Chris comes into a hard blast next time, dude, and wham, the
Just
front
bumper,
dude, the bumper just nails it, and the whole Jeep bounces in the air and then lands again, and he's like, wah, 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 and then stopping, and he's like, calm down. So I think nerves got the best of a lot of us in the beginning, you know, and then by the end, we're having a blast. By the time we hit Son of Rock Pile, we're all having just a good time, man.
That's awesome.
And we had to wear that stupid dingleberry hat if you had to winch, taken from, Flex Rocks and Rollovers. And we passed that shit around to everybody but Steve. Steve's the only one who made that son of a bitch. That's why I asked to see if he can come on, because that guy's got top dog right now, man.
Nice.
The only one who didn't winch. Chris had him all the way till Son of Rock Pile and couldn't get up that.
So what do you think the difference was? Like smaller axles, more clearance, like just luck? Or?
Honest to God, the reason some guys made it and the reason some didn't was how determined we were to stack rocks.
Oh.
That's honestly it.
So if you come in after a couple of rocks have been stacked, you might make it a lot easier than the first guy.
So, and this is not a dog on Don by any stretch of the imagination. I got up there, Don's going up, I'm stacking rocks like crazy because he's a smaller Jeep, we're stacking. One guy stacking that side, I'm stacking this side. I see where he spits out. I stack it all the way up there nice and neat. Don gets up it. And on his way up, he kicked a bunch of shit out.
Oh, of course.
I go up. Don says he threw some rocks in there, but I went up right behind him, and I don't think we threw any rocks in there. So, but I also...
Maybe also half his age, I mean.
So if this is the ledge, I get up like this and just sat there. I had that far to go, and literally... I got all 4 tires spinning. I'm smoking. I got about 4,000 RPM going.
Damn.
I'm sitting there, and the guy says, "I have no idea why you're not making it, dude. You're not on anything. Like, why the hell are you not going forward?" And there was no bumps, no nothing. Just smoked them. But I think the 10-year-old tires, there's no grip.
Not as grippy.
Yeah. So that was it. So I ended up, and then I stalled it, and I go, and the ledge is probably 4 feet or 5 feet, and then I stalled it, and I'm still on the back, and I look at him, I go, "What do you think's going to happen when I push the clutch in, dude?" I hit the clutch, and my Jeep just took right off. Right back onto the back and then back off and realigned, tried again, and then I just hooked up. But the winch pull was literally I winched 3 times. All 3 winch pulls were like one fucking bump, and it goes over.
Did Chris Bayer have to winch at all on any obstacle?
Son of Rock Pile.
What do you think of his new in-cab winch controller? Did he finish it?
Yeah.
But does his thimble still not have a hook?
No, this guy made us get all that shit ready prior.
Oh, good. Oh, nice.
Yeah, he said winch cable's out. I had my covers off. Winch cable's out. Hooks up. Get a tow rope and
the guide.
The guide. He made us get a tow rope out and a soft shackle. Everything had to be ready.
Every Jeep's fully equipped. Let's pull it now.
Yep, and
let's
ready
not
to
mess
go.
around.
Yep.
I like that.
Me too. And then Chris goes, "That should make Mike the fucking winch Nazi happy." And I was like, all right, dude. But I like it. I don't mind that,
So now you have in-cab winch controller. I do. I know White Chris does.
It's the bomb.
It's awesome. I haven't used it yet because I don't really get stuck. Or I just
it's hard to get stuck in the garage.
I was gonna say I haven't been out wheeling. Did it?
Right.
Suck it.
So then we get through that. Axel Hill was good. I don't know. Rod made it up, or not Rod. Don made it up that, and the guide goes, "Look, guys, if he just made it, there should be no excuse for any of you other ones."
Yeah.
And I think I was the only one that winched on it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Oh, Daryl booked up that so fast because he knows he didn't have a rear locker.
Oh, he's carrying momentum.
I parked, and he's got them giant balloon.
Yeah.
I parked, grabbed the camera out, turned around, walked up, and Daryl's at the top. Damn. I completely missed the whole show.
Did you get a lot of good video footage while you were out there?
I think so. I haven't seen it, but all of it, the whole entire week, didn't fill up one card. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to video. Plus, I was driving, and everyone, dude. We have a chat that's filled with all the pictures. Mm-hmm. Are you on that? Did you guys get on that?
I don't know.
So we made a new chat that is called Moab 2020 Pictures.
Oh, no.
Okay. And there's no words, just pictures. Everybody dumped into it.
Good.
And nobody talks on it. So, and if you want to we'll just put you on it. That's how
I'm
it is.
sure I'll see them
Yeah,
here and there, and people will post them.
So, but that was the easiest way. Otherwise, I end up with 9 million duplicates.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, yeah. So we get through that, go through there. But then there was this one. The guide said it was a no-named obstacle, but there was a sign that they just named it called Half Step or something like that. And basically, it was like a small, chewy hill. It's a little tiny ledge. But I got up on it, and again, for me, with the front so light, if my back tires didn't hit the obstacle at the same time, it would just turn it whatever direction hit first or hit. Yeah.
You like leverage basically, or you.
Yeah, I would hit the driver rear tire first, and it would swing the whole Jeep left, right, until that back tire hit. Well, that threw me off, and he's like, stop. And then, because it was sliding the wrong way, obviously. And he's like, dude, the winch cable's that way, and I go, he's like, you can back up. You know what I mean? Like, because, again, you're on this ledge. And I go, I can front dig. And he goes, man, that'd be nice. Mm-hmm. And I go, no, I can front dig. I'll do a front dig. And I leaned down, threw it in, and he's like, oh, yeah, give that a try.
Because a lot of the new Jeeps don't have that.
Dude.
JKs and JLs, I think it's way more rare that you can twin stick.
He was probably thinking, dumbass, why didn't you front dig back there? Last time you were crooked. It worked exactly how it's supposed to work. It went whoop and moved the front. The back didn't move. The front end just wipered right over to where I needed to go and right up and over.
Damn.
It was awesome. He goes, I get it on, the front tire spinning, and he goes, well, shit, throw in the back. And I never even got out of the gas. The front tire spinning. I threw down, I put the reverse in, turned off the brake, and
that doesn't grind it or nothing.
Mm-mm. It was awesome. It was badass, dude. So anyway, then I went up that, and then after that, another crazy part is I think we're at Chewy Hill. No, I'm sorry. I think we're at. Fuck, I don't remember. It was somewhere in the middle. It's either Son of Rock Pile or Axel Hill.
Okay.
I haven't seen the video, so I forget even the order already. And you could see the JLs at the exit. Mm-hmm. There's a huge. You come up out of this mountain in this giant saddle.
Just other JLs or like Rod's JL?
No, it was those. Oh, I'm sorry, LJs. It was that LJ group that was
groups.
in town.
Okay.
That big event. They were at the top, right? And you could see the exit. And he said, "We're 2 hours away."
Whoa.
From the exit. And you could see the freaking exit, dude. And it took us, somebody said, well, we'll do it sub 2 hours. And it took us like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Damn.
2 hours and 10 minutes. That's insane.
So it's just a bouldery climb? Like it's just ledge after ledge after ledge?
It took forever to get everyone up Son of Rock Pile for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Daryl's Jeep was so heavy, it took 2 inches to get him up. We had one going to a rock and one going to the guy. It was dragging the lead's Jeep into the hole. So we got Chris on a winch. Or Chris is winching on that side. Daryl's coming up to this big rock.
Of course.
And then it was funny. He leans over and he goes, those big heavy axles aren't doing shit now, are they? Like one little tiny thing can wipe you out, you know? Because I don't know what that Jeep weighs, but it's a ton.
Daryl's, yeah.
Yeah. That was that.
Nice.
So anyways, when you get to the top of the saddle and you're like, hell yeah, dude. And it says Pritchett End. And we all lined up like kids,
That's awesome.
Like the feeling you had, it was really good to do the hardest trail first or second to first, right? Because the rest of the week, you pushed the limits because you were totally comfortable. You know what I mean? Like it was, instead of building up to that and then sucking all through the week, it changed everything. Everybody was relaxed. We're goofing. Didn't matter what happened after that. We had already accomplished what we needed to do.
That's awesome.
So it was really good. And then we're going back, and the guy said it's about 2.5 hours back, and it's all this gravel dirt. It's not a gravel road. It's a rocky road. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I'm not going to go slow. This is where we're at. Go down there.
It's bumpy, huh?
Wicked bumpy. So I'm like, I jump out in front.
Would you compare to Mud Springs bumpy?
No, it's Table Mesa bumpy, like back.
Oh, okay.
But you have like hills that have big rocks in them, and it's like that though. You're not flying on that road. Well, I'm not.
Because you can end up going too fast on a smooth part and get messed up and like some pretty.
Or you'll come around a turn where you can haul ass, and all of a sudden there's a huge divot. Boom, and you're smashing into it. And I'm thinking, I only got one spare leaf spring with me, And the so at any rate, we're hauling ass. Steve comes around me. Everybody's trying to make passes. Steve comes around. Chris comes around. At one point, we're probably 2 miles ahead of Rod. I see him just tinkering off way off in the distance. And then who else was there?
Well, Rod takes care of his stuff.
The main guy, Jeremy, Steve, Rod, or Steve. Who is the other guy? I don't know. Oh, Daryl. All those guys are hauling ass. And then we hear Orange Chris gets on the radio and goes, yeah, Steve lost the coilover. And then somebody's like, all right, somebody with him? And then he would go, yeah, somebody's with him. You know, Steve lost the coilover. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. And then we go, is anybody, like, how bad did it break? What,
Yeah.
you know, trying to get information. And all he kept saying was, he lost the coilover. He said it like 8 times.
So
Dude.
no one's there.
Dude, he said this every time somebody would ask a question, he would end it with Steve lost a coilover. So I go, hey, does anybody up front ever lose a coilover? I heard somebody lost a coilover. And then become a joke, dude, till we all get to Steve. And it was so much, like 22 times. People were like,
So what did he really lose? Like the bolt out of the bottom?
the shaft unthreaded out of the base, and the whole fucking thing came apart. So
So his springs, the
Everything.
slider, everything fell out.
tire hit the fender. He
Whoa.
dove down in.
Oh yeah,
Boom.
nothing's holding that corner.
He
up.
said it made a horrendous noise, dude.
Oh yeah.
And then he stopped. And then when I
Well,
pull,
the lugs are probably like digging into. That was probably the noise. I would think.
I pull up when we get there. I walk up to them, and they're trying to drive it, and I'm like, move it to a flatter ground
Yeah.
to get it all jacked up. And I go, why? Don't move it. What are you guys trying to move it
Yeah,
for?
you're gonna break your stuff.
Yeah, and it was driving on a bend, and luckily they stopped doing it. It was like, dude, that's gonna bend something. So then White Chris went around, hooked a rope to his roll bar, pulled him over on 2 wheels,
Nice.
put the whole thing back together.
Yeah.
Off we went.
Damn.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I'd probably want to pull that whole shaft out.
Yeah.
Out of that center rod of the coilover, and then put all that in a vise and like lock it back down with some Loctite. And
Yeah, it had 0 Loctite on it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing. It should have had Loctite because that shaft can spin in there.
yeah, that's hard. Though.
And he said only like 3 threads were actually down into the
Weird.
into the end.
Yeah,
But-
mine's got quite a few.
Yeah, definitely make sure that shit's on for
Yeah.
sure, and definitely be something to watch. But
Wow. Yeah, I'll have to look at mine. I would have never guessed that could unthread on a trail.
yeah, then we're hauling ass out, and the guy says, "Hey, the sand dunes are right off to the left. Does anybody want to go?" And all you hear was Rod say, "Well, I wanted to, but if nobody wants to, I'm good to keep going." And it was all just crickets, right? And I was like, "Oh,
So people were done. Huh?
yeah, people were done." We get to it, and we're at the Y, and I go, "Rod, if you want to go to the sand dune, I'll go with you, man." And he's like, "Hell yeah!" Next thing you know, we're all in the sand dune, and
Having
we're
a great time.
fucking blast, bro. I thought my Jeep would suck in the dunes, but it doesn't. I put it in the Magnum box,
Okay.
not the Lolo, just the Magnum
the
box
2.7 3-to-1.
in. Yep, and 3rd gear, and dude, I could rip. I
Really?
could come up. I was trying to do the whole
Yeah.
at the top of the thing.
rooster tail at the top.
Yeah, Chris was trying to do it. We'd throw it into 2-wheel drive and then lock in the rear locker and try to roost everybody. Shit, we were having a blast.
I
dude.
would have thought 2-to-1 would be
better, but it would chug too much. I couldn't keep the
You don't have
torque
enough
up.
engine power.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was awesome. That 3-to-1, it was literally perfect. I could start in 3rd gear. No switching
Yeah.
gears. I just started in 3rd gear and do whatever I want. It
Damn.
will. It was awesome. Let her rip. But running it that hard, man, on the sand like that at like 6 PSI, my engine temps jumped way
Oh
up.
yeah.
I didn't
mean,
know
you
it was
have
that hot.
everything fighting the engine: low tire, sand, drag. I mean,
Yeah. It was fun.
yeah.
No, and I thought I was going to get just massive wheel bounce and hop. Dude, it just, whoa.
Damn.
It's a beast, dude.
How badass.
Yeah, it was cool. And everybody had a big old smile. He's like, all right, fucking kids, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. Then we ended up going into town, went to dinner with the guide and stuff like that.
Cool.
Awesome, man. We saw that wicked Toyota. I keep
Toyota?
calling it a Toyota. It was a Chevy Blazer, little tiny car, but it had dual leaf springs upside down with hydraulics and a shock, had a rear wheel that would bend down and push him up the
Yes.
obstacle.
Yes.
He could turn the wheel, put it on the ground, and just do a circle.
Whoa.
Like that. And he could lock the hub, unlock the hub.
Yeah.
So if he locked the hub, he could push himself up an obstacle. Total engineer. He could control each corner of it.
And it's a spare tire, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was the
2
spare tire.
Yeah,
but
there
it's-
only had 1 on there, but 2.
So
yeah.
does it? How far? I only saw the video. I saw I think it was already down on the ground, and hydraulically it pushed the Jeep so
Yep.
he could get traction somewhere and drive off.
Yeah, lifts him up whatever he's stuck on,
Yeah.
and then the front will
It's like
pull it.
someone pushing you from behind.
Exactly.
Well, lifting you from
lifting
behind.
you over. Yeah, it was awesome,
Dude,
and it
you
weighed
know-
7,000 pounds.
We're gonna get into this on another episode, but we're gonna cover a bunch of the Ultimate Adventure stuff that we saw online,
Yeah.
and all the full size Invasion stuff.
Yeah, maybe next week.
Yeah.
Maybe if Vern's back, I can get him on.
Ooh.
The
Yeah.
I think
I
want to
see his new
the new
long distance whatever
Yeah,
Jeep.
I didn't know. I don't understand the acronym. Do you know what the
Yeah,
acronym
no.
is?
It's
Okay.
something.
UALJ4 or U something. I don't know.
So it's long. I don't know. Yeah. So someone said something like it on one of the videos that I saw.
Yeah.
But it looks badass.
Hell yeah. It looks really cool. It's got an army look to it.
Yeah.
It's different than any of his other builds. Most of his other builds are like artistic, characteristic builds with wood floors and shit. And this one was like your basic build, but army. And it looks like a modern, you know what it is?
It's a modern Willys.
It's his Willys looks just like it. It's the modern version of his Willys.
Well, let's not get too deep into that.
Yeah.
Because you still got one more day of wheeling.
2 more days.
2 more days of wheeling, and a whole drive home.
Yep. Guys are probably loving this longer one. I like the short ones.
You could split this up if you want into 245s.
Yeah, maybe give them 3 this week. Ooh. Yeah. Anyway, So we'll figure out where it goes. So that was Pritchett. Dinner was awesome. Host was awesome. Go check out Jeremy over Offroad Elements. Fuck, I don't know.
We'll put it in the video.
Exactly.
Maybe you can edit it into the audio too.
It'll be in there. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
It'll be like off-road name.
Right. Insert audio here. So then we did, what did we do? We did chicken corners, I think, the next day.
So is that on your rest day? Like the day you took it easy? You also did a little wheeling?
Shit, maybe it was. What days? So Monday was Pritchett. Tuesday we did nothing.
Oh, Tuesday. Okay, so you already...
Yeah, okay, so Tuesday we rested. We just goofed off. We got in Daryl's
That's right, because you left Saturday. Sunday you already did Top of the World. Monday Pritchett. Yep. Tuesday you rested.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have Wednesday, Thursday.
Dude, so Tuesday, so brake-wise, I thought my motor mounts were broke, the way the motor was setting. What else? I had something else going on. No, I think it was just motor mounts. So, yes. So then... No. So, and then I had a ball joint loose. Then we get to camp. So I went and bought ball joints. And we get to camp. And Daryl said, it's your knuckle. It's not the ball joint. The ball joint was literally rocking in the upper knuckle.
Damn.
So
it's wallowed out.
It wallowed out, yeah. And it already had knurled ball joints, so there's no way to fix it. And it's a milled and drilled and all that other shit. So I call a guy, blah blah blah. I find one, yada yada. It wasn't drilled out, and he would have sold me a whole new set with high steer arms and everything on them for $350, and I just don't want to put that money into it. So we're gonna tack it and book home. Anyway, so we did an easy trail called Chicken Corners, which was mostly gravel road.
So did you leave your Jeep and just ride along?
No, I took it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna keep going. That was the plan, and then I said,
yeah, it's the ball joint. What could go wrong?
Yeah, well, I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go. I left my Jeep one day. Oh, I left it parked on the day we were all resting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't take it that day. We ended up riding in Nancy's truck. But
nice.
At any rate, so Chicken Corners was just a big scenic drive, mostly gravel road. We get up, but it's narrow. It's called Chicken Corners because you're up on these cliff ledges, and
it's like tight 180-degree turns, or what?
Yeah, and there's the Chicken Corner is the one I would bet is called. It's after this one section that's super tight and does like 180 degrees. Mm-hmm. At the top, I think the top is called Hooray or Huron Pass. We're at the top of that, and a fucking propane truck is up there, dude, like a full-blown big rig
like
propane
refilling
truck.
some stuff.
Yeah, and
some properties.
Don walks over to that guy, and he's like, what the hell are you doing up here? He's like, there's a base camp up here. He said, this is my first day on this trail, my last day on this trail.
Whoa.
Don said he had the window up, and when he went up to him and he rolled the window down, he could feel the cold air from the AC, and the guy was just dripping sweat. And there's one part of the inside corner. So when we went down, his tire track was less than a half an inch from the cliff edge, and a rock outcropping in the middle of the 90 like that, the 180 degrees. So going down, that would have been on his blind side, dude. You know what I mean? By himself.
And there's no other road. Like
Nothing.
that is the road to go there.
Yeah. So we ended up working all the way down to the river, and then we hung out and played in the river, and it was cool. And then back. That was just a good leisure day. We fucked off, and a lot of scenic pictures and goofing around and back into camp.
So would you do a job like that?
No. There's no way I would have took that truck up there. I didn't have a problem with any of the ledges and stuff. In that same section, I guess it was scaring the hell out of White Chris. When he was going down, it scared him, but when he was coming up, he saw how far he was from the cliff, so he was okay. So he's going around the turn, and I forget what I was doing, taking a piss or something. So I'm trying to catch a group. I come around the turn, and I see him going up, so I stand in it because I'm in that canyon. I'm all, wah, 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 like trying to haul ass down that ledge to see if I'd scare him. And he's like, I didn't even notice you, dude.
He's so in his head. Like,
yeah. So then we booked off back to camp, all that good stuff. I think that was the night. Yeah, we went. I We ended up going into town, and we just hung out in town. We
Nice.
got
Yeah,
ice cream, bought
Yeah.
T-shirts for everybody, walked up and down, and all the crap.
I didn't get a T-shirt.
I know. I meant to say just my family.
Oh, my God.
Shit was expensive, bro. $8.
Hey,
So
that's cheap.
I know. I didn't even buy me a shirt.
Yeah.
I got these shirts though.
Nice.
Rod gave me a bunch. I mean, he gave me this one,
Nice.
not a bunch.
Cool.
So he came out with a whole bag, passing them out, man. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
Max doesn't need any. I'll take them all.
That's all good.
So replenish my stock. But at any rate, let's see. Then we did Steel Bender the next day. That was the last.
Had
day.
you done that one before? Or
Nope.
No. Okay.
No. That's why I love this trip, and I was so relaxed because now I don't have a fear. I'm not afraid to go to Moab anymore. Like, it wasn't that I was afraid. I just didn't want to get stuck on a trail that I suck on. And now I have a full 5 days worth of trails that I can do no problem. That I can do without. That'll be hard and fun, but I can have a good time while I'm there.
But you're not hanging off a cliff every freaking second of the day.
Yeah, and that's plenty to do. I can just go do those same trails, have a blast. No,
Nice.
I'm very familiar with the town now, you know. So at any rate, Steel Bender, that's a good trail and a bad trail. The obstacles were fun, but they're pretty few. Super scenic, but lots of small ledges in between everything. So you could only go like
So it's
first
almost
to
like
second
it's
gear.
tedious almost.
Very,
like,
very. That's a good word.
like it.
The only thing worth mentioning was let's see here. So there's a thing called the wall. That
Okay.
was pretty cool. So we went right in. I went into that, and you straddle this. It's like the crack out back, but
Okay.
a little bit steeper and bigger.
Yeah.
Probably a lot steeper and bigger. And dude, I went up trying to straddle it, and it bounced over and kind of got a little tippy. And I
Yeah.
pushed in the clutch. It didn't do anything. It didn't roll back.
Because you're already sitting
It just
on.
teetered. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I backed up. I did 2 tries of that, and then I put my tire in the crack, and it went up and over.
Oh, nice.
And then Orange Chris went to the right. There was 3 sections there, and he made that look awesome. So I went and backed down, and we did. Everybody lined up, and we did the whole right side too. And then I was just about to say, literally on the radio, this trail sucks. You know what I mean? Like, because it's so bumpy. At least for me, it was crazy bumpy. Beautiful scenic, but it's almost like SEMA. The scenery is so awesome there, it starts to just blend away.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's everywhere you look is gorgeous. So we go to the fall. This fall, I look at that, and Rod's standing there. Him and somebody's contemplating a plan. I walk up and I go, I'm not going down that. Like, there's no fucking way I'm going down that. And he goes, no, we'll put a strap on your bumper. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, is that the one where they hold it and all the Jeeps kind of bounce a little and settle?
No. Oh, maybe. I don't know. It might be. I know what you're talking about, like on the older videos.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but
Okay.
probably. So when you drop off the fall, you have to immediately turn left because the ledge is there, right? It's not a huge ledge, but probably 30 feet, you know?
Yeah,
and,
enough.
enough to do 2 rolls down there. You're not going to die, but probably 2 rolls.
Mate, you could die.
Probably. But so I look over, and there's a rocky section that's off camber, but not as steep and a lot taller. So I literally just walked up and I said, yeah, I'm not fucking doing that. And I looked over and I went, I can make that. And I turned right around and headed for the Jeep. I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to let my mind get in the way or nothing. I get right to it. I drive up, get positioned towards the top, and you can't see anything.
Yeah.
So I look at Orange Chris and I said, hey, dude, can you spot me down that real quick? I want to be right here. He's like, so you want to be right here? I go, I want my tire right here.
Yeah.
My passenger's tire right here. He's like, yeah, okay. And then he goes to do it. And then he goes down to the very bottom in the middle. And I go, I can't see you, Chris. So that
Which would be great for a handheld radio.
yeah, exactly. So he scoots back over, and I get over, and he goes, go driver, or and he's a passenger. And I was like, are you sure, dude? Like, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't look like in my head what I remember. And he goes, stop, back up and go passenger. Like, he wanted me to, he goes, I need you over passenger like
passenger.
a foot. Right. So then I look over. Oh, so then I back up, and he starts doing this to give me like, go straight.
Yeah.
And then it switched to this.
What is this?
That's what I asked. I go, what the hell is this, Chris? He was all like,
Is he like turn it like?
he didn't know. You could just tell he didn't know what to do, dude.
Oh,
and it turned into the @ symbol, right? He's got his first. Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? So he turned into like this, and then I look over at Rod and I go, Rod, will you spot me, dude? I kick Chris off, and Rod's like, yeah, okay. And then he didn't really know what the plan was, so he's standing at the top of the obstacle and he's trying to spot me down, and I got going, and they were all sort of indecisive, and I just fucking decided I was going to go
Just
for
rolled
it.
Neutral bomb it.
So I went in a little bit more off camber than I wanted.
Oh, okay.
The very first time I hit the brake, the back lifted and slid towards the big fall. It went, whoot, and then I just pushed the clutch in and let it roll. And then I was just steering it as it smashed into the bottom. It sounds worse than it was. You know, it goes down.
In your mind, though, for everyone, it is worse while you're doing it.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, "What's this guy worried about?" Like,
exactly. But they're not driving a little tiny short wheelbase car, you know. And then, but when you hit, and then you go left, and there's another fall. I just dropped off.
Did you die?
No. But I also knew, like, I knew that wasn't going to be an issue. Again, I wasn't worried about flipping or rolling or even tumbling off the hill. It was because I know going down. I don't get scared normally going downhill. That I get more scared going up than I do down.
Which is weird.
Because I can stand in the gas usually and drive it. You know, that's always been my plan. I don't know if it works, but the
theory. It depends.
Yeah, on high dive it works. Yeah. Right. So, anyways, that happened, and then Don did it, and a couple other people did it, and some did the big fall, and that was it. But you look at the big fall in the pictures and the video. I showed them to Kristen last night. It looks like a bump, like. And I'm trying to explain to her, the fall is probably 5 feet because it comes up to about Chris's neck, right?
Oh, wow.
And then it's got some rocks piled at the bottom. But the whole thing is sloped. So you're on a slope and then the fall. Right?
Wow.
So it's 5 feet like this. But when you take a picture, it looks like this.
So you're once you're in it, you're going down.
Yeah, you can't stop it. Once your front tires go over it, it slides off. But it was pretty cool. And then just more bumps. We get through a couple water crossings, and then we come out into that big picture, you know, where the Jeeps are in that big-ass rock.
That was nice.
We come up there, and we played on that obstacle, every option possible.
Nice.
That was it. Then we booked out. And then that was it pretty much. Chris, White Chris, myself, and Orange Chris decided to go home on Friday. Everybody else did Cliffhanger Friday, and they went home Saturday. They're coming home now.
Nice.
So
nice. But another good, successful trip. Like, awesome camping.
Incredible.
Great time with your friends. You learned that the @ symbol is a spotting symbol now. I mean,
it's probably do what you want. That's what that means. I don't know. That's yeah.
And you know what you want to do to your Jeep.
Yeah. So I just
like it's final. Like it's
like
it took a little bit of damage.
Remember, I was on the CTI trailer and got that shitty score, and then when I measured the shaft and my leaf springs wouldn't even go the full length of the shock.
Yeah.
That's immediately when I knew I was going to put the coil over on it and finish it. So then that happened. This with the leaf springs just smashing everything and not being able to have as much fun bombing around and just the beating that I took, I know right now that I'm done with the leaf springs. It's just I already have all that shit setting there.
Yeah.
There's no reason I can get it all hooked up without having the axle shafts and all that other crap. It could be all done. Just buy that and then bolt it back together.
And you might as well take your time, do it right, and that way it's just good to go from then on out. You know.
And we're going into the best weather, so there's no reason not to start tearing it apart right now. Because you don't have to.
You could still ride with me, with Steve, with Chris, like you're not gonna miss out. You know, I mean,
it's sitting around not doing anything, and then you don't do anything, and then every time you go out, I started making the list of the shit I want fixed.
Yeah,
I got to fix some electrical stuff, upgrade those circuit breakers to be able to handle everything. You know, there was a lot of stuff, and I always think I'll remember it, but this time I actually made a list.
Good.
Then, I went home with Chris wouldn't let me drive with a plug tire on the highway, so he gave me a spare. Then I'm walking around.
White Chris or Orange Chris?
White Chris.
Okay.
So then I'm walking around camp all day going, I got 40s on the Jeep, you know, like I have a 40.
Yeah.
So that stupid song. And anyway, he's like, it looked like one big boob and one little boob, man, because I have a 39.
How to drive with
You can't even tell.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because we thought that could be an issue.
Yeah. I had it aired down like 6 PSI less.
Was it on the
left.
front or the rear?
The rear. The rear passenger.
See, I would have thought if you did it in the front, you at least undo the hubs,
right?
And it's not spinning together in the axle or the carrier.
What I thought is, if anything, if it's bigger circumference, just all the power is going to that wheel, which might have been, it might have happened. I tried to air it down to where they matched, you know. Well, I don't know if that works or not, but I did struggle on the way home. I couldn't pull the mountains like I normally can.
Interesting.
And I don't know if it's because maybe one power's going to one wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, your wheels are not slipping, right? So the power should be going somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand how it works. I mean, I understand how it works.
But it causes, it doesn't make it right, huh? Like something's wrong if you do that.
So I have, let's see, Orange Chris lost his power steering on the way home.
Yeah, I heard that.
And it was just manual or whatever. What else? We had Daryl lost a locker. I'm going to go through some of the trash, the repairs.
So Daryl lost the ARB rear locker seal to where it just pumps air.
You know what he said ARB stands for? Already broke.
Damn.
And Rod said, boats. So because I said trailers are for boats. Boats stand for broke on another trailer. I was like, oh. That's funny.
I thought boats stood for bust out another 1,000.
Oh yeah, that's probably good. That's even better. So, my headlights didn't fit where the radiator is, and I didn't realize it. So one headlight is all out of the whack, and it looks all cockeyed, and Orange Chris kept making fun of it. So we were in town really late on one of the nights, and I go to head back, and I turn the lights on. They're in the sky. You can't even see them. They're not even on the ground. And I'm leading, and my speedometer wasn't working, right? God. It was jumping around. I didn't know it. So the Jeep's kind of a white knuckle ride sometimes anyway, like when you first start, it's very scary. It's very white knuckle. By the end of the trip, I got one leg hanging out and driving one hand because I understand where it's going now, after 1,000 miles. And so it's dark. I don't have headlights. I'm running. Those guys are falling behind. I'm telling them, I can't see shit. And they're like, yeah, man, that's crazy. And they weren't keeping up. I was doing 80 miles an hour and thought I was doing 60. And I was like, whoa! I got both hands on.
No wonder.
Driving like it was scary, bro. Yeah. I get back to camp. I was like, dude, my Jeep is not feeling right. And they're like, well, fuck, you were doing 80, bro. I was like, I was 80? I was like, this speedometer never went over 60. He's like, that's wrong. And sure enough, that stupid, it's all wore out. So I put a beer can around the square and slide the speedometer cable back in. And sometimes it loosens out, and I got to replace that little piece of shim.
Your beer can.
My beer can. You used to on the old bicycles when the handlebars would slip, you'd
put the
beer can around it. Yeah. Same concept. So anyway, it was pretty fun. I'm like, well, that would explain why that was such a hair-raising ride, dude.
You got like 100 though. I'm barely going 50.
They're like, I was wondering why the hell they weren't keeping up, because they all had JLs or whatever. Let's see, what else? Anything else that was awesome? Let's see.
You got the ball joint issue going on.
Yeah, the knuckles
Daryl's
bad.
locker.
Motor mount. Yeah, that's it. Chris's power steering. His power steering originally, so on my old power steering, I was able to take that check valve out and clean it and put it back in, and it would work for a bit. So we took Chris's apart, and the PSC pump didn't have that there. So
whatever's in there might have gone into the pump.
I don't know what it was.
If that was a similar issue.
So he would turn. Let's say you're turning right. You turn right and then try to go left, it would hit a wall and just stop. And then you just wait for a second with pressure on it, and it would release.
Wow.
It was weird. And then the pump went out. By the time he was home, he was muscling it around.
So. That's a bummer because he has that nice PSC, like high-dollar pump, And
it's barely a year and a half old even.
I'm rocking a freaking old-ass JK box that's been in like a couple Jeeps. It's been drilled and tapped.
But it works.
It works great. So, so far, it works great.
My power steering pump whines like crazy, but it's always whined kind of from the beginning, but it works fine. I could have the wheels locked and still turn it. So that's good. Locked. Right on. Yeah, that was it, man.
What a cool trip. I'm excited to see the video you put together. Obviously, I assume most people are going to keep posting photos on Instagram. Yeah,
and it won't be, I'm just going to put it all together in one video most likely. Nice. And if it ends up being long, I'll cut one video in half. Oh, nice. But I'm not going to break it up by days or anything like that.
Well, and make the video good in your standards, not like you don't need a good Friday video, a good Saturday video.
It's going to be a
Sunday
recap
video.
of my trip.
Yeah.
Like the video. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like for me. Exactly.
That's awesome.
That's the plan anyway. Cool. Yeah, right on, man.
That's it. Great outro.
Was that it?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend.
And why do we never do that in the beginning?
Tell people about us.
Yeah. Follow Keep It Simple Offroad. YouTube.
Yeah, how's your subscribership going on YouTube?
I haven't even looked. I haven't looked at it.
How was it when last time you did look? No clue.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Over 1,000 though.
Oh yeah.
It stayed there.
Yeah.
You didn't get Richard Russelled.
Nope.
Nice.
Nope. I got to put up more video though, because as soon as we broke 1,000, I quit putting videos up. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. This should be a good week. Anyway, like, subscribe, follow, and carry on.
Carry on.
Whatever you do.